would your organisation respond to an event like a tropical storm like Katrina or Cyclone Larry? How would you respond to having your production wiped out, having your infrastructure damaged, having your employees or the communities in which your organisation is based decimated? While not all extreme weather events impact on organisations, certainly the risks associated with climate change increase the vulnerability of organisations to these types of events. How is your organisation going to respond to such events? Part of the issue that we deal with in this course is we deal with how organisations and their managers create value via using people, natural resources, and the communities in which they're embedded as a means of generating long-term resilience and sustainability. The course focuses on how organisations can manage their carbon footprint, manage their broader ecological footprint, and develop an understanding of their interrelationship between their business strategy and the environment.
Businesses planning to be around in 20 years' time are not looking to the past to design their future. Yes, they're taking close account of what's happening in today's world, but more so are investing in understanding and imagining what's going to happen in the next 20 years. Yes, profitability is one of the important things, it's the grounding of business, but so too is adding social value, being efficient in the use of natural resources, and of course delivering an economic dividend to a community. These are the planks upon which sustainable businesses are planning their futures. Very different world to the one that was the 1980s or the 1990s even. And more so, a vastly different world to come in the world of carbon constraint and climate change. Companies that are taking account of these things, planning, understanding the issues, thinking systematically and thinking about systems are in the business right now of building their business position for the future.
Climate change is a huge issue. It's actually an issue in which the horse has bolted for many organisations. What I mean by the horse has bolted is that whether you're a sceptic about climate change or not, the regulatory and business environment is changing rapidly in this space. Our course on corporate sustainability looks at how organisations and the managers in those organisations can create and lead change which enhances how organisations create value in this space, how we manage stakeholders, how we implement new technologies, and how we deal with complex environmental issues. Our course asks managers to consider these events. It asks managers to engage with these issues in looking at how they might create future resilient organisations.
If we're going to change the way we do business, we've got to change the ideas that we use to run our businesses. And in essence, what we need to do, in one word, we can sum up the new set of ideas by the word biomimicry. That's basing our business organisations and industrial processes on lessons that we've learned from nature. Now, nature's had 380 million years of R&D. And any design that doesn't work has already been recalled by the manufacturer. In every human system, whether we're producing our clothing, our transport, our buildings or our food, between 85% and 99.9% of what we produce is actually waste. That's an incredible opportunity to increase the profitability of our business enterprises. To give you a simple example, the car that you drove to the airport today in, 99% of the fuel went to move the car. Now, you didn't really need the car at the airport, the idea was for you to get to the airport. Now, nearly every other human system works on around the same amount of waste.
You know what the really biggest waste is? The waste of human innovation and creativity brought about by the way we arrange our organisations. That dwarfs anything that we waste in resources.
The corollary concept of biomimicry is the idea of meta-science. Now, meta-science is basically blending ancient wisdom with modern technology. Now, almost in one generation, we've lost all that ancient wisdom in how we grow our food, how to grow our food without chemical fertilisers and pesticides, how to prepare our food without modern preservatives and additives, and how to build our buildings so that they can get their energy from the sun and the wind without having to rely on huge amounts of fossil fuel energy.
We each have a responsibility to leave this planet in a better state than where it is now. And for us, that's the motivation. Profitability is one, but we can do some good as well as make some money. That's a win-win for everyone. So from an energy efficiency point of view, there's some really basic things that we do. Things like orientating the house east-west to allow the winter sun in and exclude the summer sun. We don't put windows on the eastern and western side of the house so that the low eastern and western sun doesn't find their way in. Really, really simple things that we used to do. We don't tend to do them any longer in our houses.
After examining multiple case studies, my colleagues and I have developed a framework for understanding how organisations can position themselves strategically in relation to sustainability initiatives. We talk about there being 6 types of phases or positioning that organisations have on sustainability issues. These are rejection, non-responsiveness, compliance, an approach to sustainability which is efficiency dominated, an approach to sustainability which is strategically dominated, and then sustaining. There are very few organisations globally that are in the sustaining portfolio, the best performing portfolio. What we find is that in Australia and globally, most organisations would fit nicely within a compliance approach to sustainability issues. However, what my colleagues and I argue is that there are significant competitive advantages for organisations to be engaged in either the efficiency or the strategic approach to change. Good examples of these types of organisations are Sala Homes and Rockcoat, both who have moved from having an efficiency approach to sustainability to a strategic, borderline sustaining approach to sustainability.